Hey friends, welcome back. Now we are going to continue our Mern Stack project series, and this is our e-commerce project, and now we are going to continue with the backend again, right? So in the previous couple of videos I have asked you about your opinion, about your suggestion. Anyone can comment, anyone can let me know anything. I will definitely reply. So one of you has commented, he is Rohit, and thank you so much Rohit for your opinion. And he told me first complete the back end and then come to front end, then it will be more organized. So I think he's right and I agree with him. So we are going to continue with the back end. Once we are done with the back end, then we will move back to the admin application. Okay. And also one of you commented about the source code. I didn't find his comment in the comment section, so let me show you. Like, first thing, I don't have the complete source code of this project, right? I'm creating it step by step, so you can get the source code of whatever I have done till now. So you can go to webscript.info. This is my website, and I'm the founder of this website, right? So this is the first post, and you can see e-commerce backend express server, or you can also find in the recent tab. So these are the recent posts. Okay, so here you can see e-commerce backend express server. You can click on this post, and what we have here, so you can match your code if you're getting any error. So this is the root file index.server.js. I think you're familiar with these things, right? So if you're getting any error, you can match your code with this post, right? So I will update this page with time to time. I cannot create everyday post because it's actually takes a lot of time creating the video, editing the videos, and then uploading it, and then you want me to create the post and like share the source code, right? It's okay, no problem. But yeah, it will not be regular, but yeah, I will post in like 2 days, 3 days. So this is index.server.js file, and this is user.js file. You can see the code of your user.js file, and then we have routes or.js file. And if you move down, you can get all of the backend related files in this post. So like whatever I have done till now, you can get from here. So with time, I will update the source code. Okay. And if you want the complete source code, then you can check my GitHub in some time. Okay. So let me open a new tab and let me close. You can find the link of this page in the description of the video. Okay, cool. So let's close this and let's go to your project folder. So this is our project folder, right? ls, and we have 3 different folders. So let's navigate to the Mern backend, and again ls. So this is our src file, and here what you are gonna do, let's open first in your VS Code. So basically in this video we are going to validate the request, and after that we are going to create the categories, right? Categories API. So this is our project folder. Let me minimize everything, open the editors and close everything. So here it is, and you can see I have the source folder, and I have this routes file, and then I have this admin auth.js file. So let's first work on the validation of the request. Whatever the request coming to the application, we will validate. For example, we will validate the first name, last name, email, and all. We will use a library express validator, or else you can manually verify by putting the conditions. Okay, so what we have 3 different folders: controllers, model, routes. So let's go to your routes and auth.js file, and here you can see when user will request this /signup, then it will execute signup controller, and for sign in it will execute sign in controller. So let's import your library const, and let's import before your router. So now let's import the required functions, and so we can work on it. Let's require, and we'll say express validator, and express validator. Let me show you the documentation of this express validator so you can read more about it, right? You can put your own logic over here. So express validator npm, right? So this is a very short page. You will not find any documentation of this, but you can click on this documentation. It will take you to the official page, right? What happened? So here is the page, actually documentation, and you can it is express-validator.github.io. so this is the docs of Express Validator. This is a library you can install with npm, and you can use this library as a middleware. So here this is our normal Express server, and what you can do, it provides a function body, and you can put an array in between request and response. So you can check the username, you can check the password, first name, last name, right? So it will give some default message based on the fields whatever you're using, right? You can also write customize validators. So let's click on this custom validator or sanitizer. Okay, and you can also check this custom error messages. So that's what I am gonna use. So here you can import a function check, and you can put an array between your request and response, and you can put a custom message. It provides a function with message, right? Let me show you how you can use. Later you can explore this page. Okay, don't forget to explore that page. So here we are gonna add a function array. Okay, so that's arrays. Let's check, and character long. Okay, so this is an array, right? So what this array is going to do, it is going to check for the first name, last name, email, password. So these are the fields which requires in the sign up, and after the validation it will pass the result in the request of this sign up controller. Let's save this and let's go to your sign up controller. So here we have auth.chase, and here we have our sign up function. So before starting anything, let's import a library const, and here we are going to say validation result. So this is again a function, validation results equals to require, right? And we'll say express validator. So this is validation results, or let's check validation result. Now let's call this validation result, which takes argument as a request, and let's store it returns an array of errors. Now here you can say return it's res dot status, it is going to be 400 dot json, and then object. So we'll say errors, and then errors dot, it's converted to the array. Okay, and let's save it. So let's execute this statement first. So let's open your Postman, and let's put localhost colon, it's 2000 /API /sign up, right? Sign up. It's a post request that needs a body, and it's a raw data, and let's specify the content type. So it's JSON format, right? And let's add something. So don't add anything, just let's see what happens if we send an empty request. So let's start your server, npm start, so check is not defined. Router.post, let's see. Let's go auth.js, and okay, sorry, we forget to add check, right? And now let's go and see is there any error. No, it's working fine, database also connected. Now let's send the request, and you can see we have got valid email is required, a password required. But before this error messages, we must need to get the first name and last name, right? Let's see what's wrong. So I think it's not is, it's not empty. Okay, so instead of is, let's write not empty, and let's send the request. And you can see we have got all of our messages, like first name is required, last name is required, email is required, password is required, right, with the custom messages. Right, now let's go VS Code. And okay, so this is a totally weird way of writing checks, because we have to do like this with every request. And more than that, in the auth.js file I have to write, I'm writing like this, right? So it's totally wrong. So that's not correct way of writing this. We can we should use the principle of try, don't repeat yourself. So let's remove these things and create a separate file for the validators. So let's, inside this src, we are going to create a folder. We'll say validators, and here we are going to create a file for the auth or .js. So this is going to work for both admin as well as user, customer, whatever. So auth.js. Now let's we'll say we'll say module dot exports equals to, so this is going to be an array, and here we are going to put our all the validations. So let's go auth.js, let's copy this array. Okay, cut from here, let's save. Let's go auth.js file, and let's write here. So instead of module.exports, that is going to be a default export. So I will not write a default export. I will say exports dot what is the name, like validate request, and this is going to be an array. So here it is. Now let's save this, and let's go auth.js and import the validate request, validate request. Now you can see it is imported. Now let's copy this check from here, save and post in your auth.js file and add here. Right, let's save. Also once this validation is done, we have to, what we have done over in the controller of sign up, so whatever we have done over here, we are going to do that thing also in the same file. So we can create some reusable code. Okay, we can write some reusable code, and let's write exports dot, we'll say is request validated, correct, and we'll say arrow function, right, and here we are going to say request response next. Right, now here we are going to get the another function, that is validation result, and here we are going to use the validation result. We are going to pass the request, and it is going to return an array of errors. So that's const errors. Right, now let's check the errors. If errors dot array dot length, sorry, it's length greater than 0 means we have error, and we are going to return the error. Right, so we'll say res dot status, it's 400 because that's an error, JSON. And so here we are going to send the error. So we are going to send only one error, so he can correct the one, and if he will do the mistakes again, then we will send the another error. Right, so we'll say errors, let's convert it to the array, and then we'll say the first, so that's an array, the first element, and it is an object, because you can see, so this is an array with the list of objects, and it has a property msg. Right, so we'll say msg. Right, and here that's it. Let's save this, and let's go your auth.js file, and here we are going to write our second functions, that middleware actually is request validated. And once request validated, then we will continue with the sign up process. We are not going to touch our sign up controller for the validation, right? So we can keep our code clean and clear. Now send the result, and you can see type errors.array is not a function. So I have used 3 times R actually. So for that, the mistake is, so where is that array is not a function, is request validated. Here is only, and where I've used here, right, and that's save, and let's send the request, and you can see the first name is required. Now let's add the first name, and here we're gonna say Ajay. Now let's send the request again. Here you can see the last name is required. Now let's add last name, and here we're gonna say Kumar. Send the request again, and you can see the valid email is required, right? So let's add an email. This is something other than email, right? Send. You can see again we have got the same message, valid email. So we have to send a correct format of the email. So ajay@webscript.info, right? And let's finally include the password. Let's check for the password. Let's send the request, and we have got unexpected token, that's here. Now let's send it again, and you can see password must be at least 6 character long, right? So let's add password, and here we're gonna say now send the request, and finally we have got again an error, so that's here. So that's a string error, and we can see it's something wrong, right? So there is some mistake. Let's check your controller. Okay, we have got the errors. If errors.length greater than 0, so errors.length is not greater than, yeah. So the problem is here, we are using a middleware here, is request validated, right? So we are getting our request, you can see. So here we are getting requests, that's validate request is just normal array. This is a middleware. So once we are getting our request here, we need to forward our request to the sign up controller, right? You can check what I have done mistake here. I have forget to use this next function. So I am not forwarding this request to the sign up controller. That's why you are getting, some of you also face this error most of the time because of some silly mistakes or forget to call the next and all, and you are waiting for the response and you are not getting the response, and you are thinking it's problem with the code, right? So it's your problem actually. Let's send it, and you can see user created successfully, right? So it worked. And okay, now let's go again, and let's use this same auth for the admin also. So here we are going to add this validate request, and then is request validated. So that's it, save. And also let's write a validator for, so this is auth, and here we are going to write for this is for sign up, right? Validate sign up request. Let's save, and let's replace this name, copy, and let's go to your auth.js file and replace this file with this sign up, so we can create a different, right? Let's go here and also change here, save, and let's go auth.js file, and also let's copy this, and let's write validate sign in request, right? Now let's remove this first name last name, right? So let's remove this first name last name. That's it. So we are going to check email and password. That's it, right? Now let's go to your auth.js file and put the condition validate sign in request, and then is request validated, and then finally we are going to forward the request to this sign in controller. Save, and let's do the same thing for admin. Say validate sign in request, and then is request validated. Let's close this. Cool. So that's, let's check it's working or not. So let's remove this, and let's check for the sign in process. Let's send the request, and first name is required, and this is sign up, right? So yeah, that's, we are lucky. We do sign in, and let's remove the email. Okay, let's send the request, and you can see the valid email is required, right? So let's put the email. Ajay@webscript.info, right? Now let's change your password, and you can validate this password also, but in case of login it is not required to validate your password. Okay, but yeah, it's okay, you can remove it, it's not a problem. I'm just checking it's working or not. I can send the request, and you finally got your token, and so your user is logged in successfully, right? Now you can do the same thing for admin. You can check for the admin it's working or not. Admin/sign up, and let's send the request, and you can see the first name is required because it's sign up, and you can check for sign in also, right? And here you can change something like, do we have any user, I don't know. So let's remove it simply, and let's send the request, and you can see the valid email is required. So both admin and customer API is working fine. So guys, as you can see, everything is working fine, and I would like to stop this video here now, and then we will continue with the sign out process and categories creation. Okay, so thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also share this video with your friends, so with you your friend can also learn it, right? He can also become a Mern stack developer, and he will be thankful of you his entire life. Okay, so yeah, thank you, bye bye. And don't forget to put your opinion and suggestion if you want to do anything, right?